Hi friends, it's finally time for me to do the big reveal for my kitchen, dining room, and entryway makeover. I really can't wait to show you. I've been so excited to share it, and I can finally share it now. So let me turn this camera around and show you all of the hard work that we did to improve our kitchen, dining room, and entryway. We'll start in the dining room. As you can see, I did not go neutral on the walls. I have a great admiration for neutrals. Neutrals are all the rage right now, and I can see a home that's on YouTube that's decorated in all neutrals, and I can admire it, and I think it's pretty. The more I was thinking about it and the more I was looking to choose colors for my house, I realized that neutrals are just not me. Pioneer Woman is me. And Artie, shh. And Pioneer Woman is bright colors, turquoises and reds and yellows. And I've always liked yellow. In fact, when I was a young girl in my preteen, teenage years, yellow was my favorite color. And so I just thought that yellow would be perfect, happy, and summery for a kitchen and dining room area. And since our entryway is off of the dining room, we went ahead and just took the color scheme out there as well. The color is a Sherwin-Williams color, but we had it mixed in Valspar paint at Lowe's because Valspar is cheaper than Sherwin-Williams. And the color is called Yellow Songbird. And I thought that was very appropriate for me because I love birds. So we'll start on this wall. On this wall is where I had a little shelving unit right there, and it had been there since we moved into this house 20 years ago. And I kept the little shelf. You will see that in a little bit when I get to the other side of the room. But I decided I wanted to change it up. Travis sits here, and every time he would back up, since he's become a grown-up man, every time he scoots out, he would hit that shelf and knock things off of it. So that was one reason why I wanted to change it, and also because I just wanted something different. So as you can see, I took my egg plate collection out of the kitchen and I put it here on this wall. This artwork is Psalms 23 done in embroidery or cross stitch. I'm not sure. I think it's cross stitch. And this was done by my mother-in-law years and years ago. She passed away 20 years ago now, so it'll be 21 years in September. So I just thought that was very appropriate. This wall has pretty much stayed the same, although if you remember in one of my videos that I redid these sconces. I just had yellow and white flowers, and for this renovation I added that splash of red. I will link that video up in the corner for you. It was the Splash of Color Challenge, if you haven't seen that already. And then up here on this shelf, I removed a couple of the tins that I was just no longer really into, and I added a couple of plates. This here is a Pioneer Woman plate, and then there's a milk glass plate that I showed in one of my recent thrift store hauls. And then I have my cream and sugar sets, the ones that I have sets to, 2 on that end, 2 on that end, and then in the middle I have the 3 that I don't have a sugar jar that matches them. Down here in this corner is my cabinet that has all of my jarred goods in it. And then on top of that I have stacked some of my mother-in-law's old books that she was really into, home remedies and herbal remedies and things like that, natural healing. So I have some of her books stacked there. And then I've got my Pioneer Woman basket back there with all of my Trim Healthy Mama things in it. And then that is a little chicken picture that a young lady from my church gifted to me not very long ago. I've got my little honey jar there that I don't actually keep honey in because I can't keep the ants out of it. On my table, you've seen this tablecloth before. It's just an old lace tablecloth that I really love. Then I have my Pioneer Woman to keep with the theme of my Pioneer Woman renovation, redecoration. I've got my Pioneer Woman placemats, coasters, and then these are little dishes that are supposed to be for like condiments, but we use them to put our vitamins in. So on this wall by the patio door, I moved that shelving unit that was over there on that wall, and above it I put this "Give us our daily bread" Matthew 6:11 verse that I had got off of hobbylobby.com. So that's on this wall. And there's the patio door, and here's my plant stand. It really hasn't changed much. Oh, and there's that rug that I got at Walmart, so the Shop With Me. And unbeknownst to me at the time, the gray and white is worked out perfectly because at the time when I did that is when I still thought I was painting my cupboards green, and we had to do a totally different look, and so the gray turned out perfect. God knew that I was going to need that gray, and it was going to work out fine. So over here is my plant stand. I didn't do a whole lot. I just ended up taking everything off of it and dusting everything really well, and then I reorganized it a bit. There's nothing really new on here except that I did move my wax melt burner in here, because when we moved the corner hutch to so that I could paint it, I uncovered an electrical outlet back there. So I ended up running a extension cord so that I could plug stuff in on my plant stand here. And here is my corner hutch. You've seen this before in my hauls, and I decided I wanted to paint it. And the paint I used is just this interior wall paint in semi-gloss that I got from Walmart. It's in eggshell white. They just call it shell white, but it's basically eggshell white. And I decided to paint it because the finish on it was getting old and peeling. It was kind of old and peeling when I first got this hutch 20 years ago. But I didn't do anything with it until now, and I just sanded it lightly to take the shine off and to smooth out the rough spots. And then I just used a textured roller to roll it. And the hinges I just sprayed with the brass, hammered bronze spray paint, the Rust-Oleum, and we just put a new doorknob on it that matches the kitchen cupboard doorknobs. And inside of it, all I did was just reorganize things and took a few things out, added a few other things. And then up here I have this owl that I got from Hobby Lobby. It was originally black and white, and I duct taped or painter's taped off the beak, the ear flaps, or eyebrows basically. It's not ear flaps, it's eyebrows, and the center part of the eye. I spray painted it blue, obviously, just some spray paint that I got from Walmart. And then I used craft paint, semi-gloss, to paint the inside of the eyes black. I think that turned out really cute. And then the new curtains that match the curtains in my kitchen. And then lastly, on this wall, this is where my microwave card is. Not a whole lot has changed. In fact, nothing really has changed, except that I took that picture down that was up there, and I am currently in the process of doing another DIY that you will see in a future video that will be going up there. So that is my dining room. Let's head on into the kitchen. Into the kitchen, what has mainly changed on the refrigerator is that I had this big magnet, what's called mission control thing, that I'd had since the kids were in school, and it was time to take down that because they're not children anymore. And I just replaced it with this dry erase board where we put down things that we need to get from the store, and then I just put my assorted magnets on there that I like. Up here hasn't changed a whole lot. I added some books and a doily to lift that cage to give it some height. And then this, it's actually a bean crock. I had this up over the other cabinets, and then that tray behind it I had on the microwave. And I decided to put them both together up here in this corner. Here is my new kitchen clock. Originally, I had my kitchen clock over here above the sink, but with the new curtains, which those are new curtains, I picked up those, I ordered them from Amazon, there was no room. The old clock, I was tired of it, ready to get something new. I got this clock through hobbylobby.com, and I absolutely love it because it is in the Pioneer Woman colors, and it is distressed and antique looking, but it wouldn't fit above my sink. So I thought I could go without a clock in the kitchen, and I had it hanging in the dining room, but it only lasted for less than a week because I never realized how often I look at the clock when I'm in the kitchen working. So I moved it over here on this wall, and it's working out really well. On top of the refrigerator are some more of my Pioneer Woman items. I've shown this to you before in a Pioneer Woman haul that I had done. I can link that video for you in the top corner. Down here in my coffee station, it's pretty much the same, except that I changed the picture for two reasons. For one reason, the picture that was here got broken in the renovations, and there's the second reason, I just wanted something different. So I took the frame from the broken picture and I spray painted it this turquoise blue color. I found this saying online as a free printable: "Come here, you big beautiful cup of coffee, and lie to me about how much we're going to get done today." I just thought that was really funny, and that's I can use the same frame and just change the printable inside of it, and the color goes along with the color scheme in my kitchen. And then this it wasn't a magnet actually, I just glued a magnet to the back, and I got this at the Dollar Tree. Coffee, because anger management is too expensive. And then I just got my stevia and then sugar for the rest of the family. The only difference on the dishwasher is that I got that Pioneer Woman Dirty Clean magnet. And then up on this corner in the kitchen, I got this corner shelf off of Walmart.com. It was $10. I painted it the same color gray as the cabinets. And on it is that cloche DIY Dollar Tree DIY that I did as a collaboration. I will link that video for you as well. So that is what I ended up putting it in my kitchen, because this DIY had to be part of the kitchen. My windowsill arrangement is still the same from the summer. Over here on this counter, I added another Pioneer Woman container. It's actually a 4-cup liquid measuring cup, but I needed another utensil jar, and I didn't want two the exact same, so I got this and I put my smaller things in there, as well as my reusable straws. Then down here on the stove, I have a Pioneer Woman towel. The big change on this wall is that I took the plates, they were the black and yellow plates with the chickens and roosters on it. I took them out. I bought these 4 Pioneer Woman salad plates to replace the rooster and chicken plates. Now, I did not throw the rooster and chicken plates away. I used them in other spots in the house. But I really love this. And then over here on my island, I just switched things around. Moved the bread box over here. I had a thing hanging on the wall here that I didn't use, and so I got rid of it. I don't have that anymore. And then over here on this wall, I still have my "Don't Panic, It's Organic" sign. Everything above the cabinets pretty much stayed the same. I just kind of reorganized things and took a couple of things down. Now, the paint color on the cabinets is from Valspar. We got it at Lowe's, and the color is Empire. Now, I started off thinking I wanted to do the cabinets a green color, because when I was looking online, I put the yellow that I chose and a certain green color together on my computer screen, and then when I got to the store, I found the little paint cards, and I thought they looked great together. When I started to put them on the cabinets, when I started painting the cabinets, it looked terrible. So I went back online onto the Sherwin-Williams website and, kind of asked the question, what color goes good with yellow? And they suggested a nice gray neutral color to tone down the yellow. And I'm so glad that I changed and did this gray. I think it looks so, so pretty. It does tone down the yellow. It complements the yellow. The yellow complements the gray. And I absolutely love it. Now, the hinges on the cabinet doors, we were going to replace the hinges because the hinges were, hinges get ugly, rusty, dirty, nasty. So we were going to replace them, but Scott did not want to have to putty up all the holes and drill new holes. So he was trying to find hinges that had the same spacing for where the screws go in. Couldn't find any. So what I ended up doing is I washed the hinges in hot soapy water, and I gave them a quick spray with this spray paint, Rust-Oleum Hammered Dark Bronze. I really loved it. I wanted to go with a dark finish, and when you look at them next to the gray paint, they almost look gray. Turn this light off so you can actually see the light fixture without blinding you. For the light fixtures, I wanted to go with completely different light fixtures. I wanted to get new ones. I wanted to get more country farmhouse looking ones. But when I looked for them, you would not believe how expensive light fixtures are. It's ridiculous how expensive light fixtures are. Wanted to keep this project under $200 or right around $200 if possible. I think we went over a little bit with the paint. So what I did instead, because if I had bought new light fixtures it would have been close to $1,000 but when it was all said and done, because we had 4 light fixtures to change. I had Scott take these down off the ceiling. I scrubbed and washed the globes really good. I scrubbed and washed the hardware, or the metal part at the top, really good, and I also spray painted those with that hammered bronze Rust-Oleum paint. And I think they turned out really, really well. They look brand new, they look nice and clean, and although they're not the farmhouse style per se, they do coordinate really well with the rest of the kitchen. And then the other thing I ended up spray painting was the ceiling fan here in the dining room. The blades were green. We had painted them green to match my decor before, and then the metal part of it was just filthy, dirty, discolored, rusty. But then again, we did not want to replace this because it was just not in our budget to do it right at this time. So again, Scott took this down for me. I spray painted it and the blades with that hammered bronze Rust-Oleum spray paint. I wanted all of the hardware and light fixtures to match. So let's head out to the entryway now. So as you can see, we've continued, hopefully you can see this is a very small space, it's hard to video, but we continued the yellow songbird color in here. I did change up quite a bit of the decor. This picture here, I had this part that I'd gotten at Walmart, but I knew if I put that picture with the yellow frame against this yellow wall, it would just disappear. So I took some E6000, I glued it to a larger frame. I spray painted this frame that turquoise color, that the theme that's been kind of going through the decor, and I put some scrapbook paper in the back that has all of the Pioneer Woman colors in it. And I hung it here on this wall. This quilt here was on the opposite wall, but I moved it because eventually Scott is going to cut this open, put a door in, and this is going to be an extended pantry. Currently, right now, the water heater's in there, and he needs to move the water heater down into the basement, and then he's going to turn this into a pantry for me. He's been talking about doing that for years, and hoping it will happen in 2018. It's only been talking about it for 10 years probably, but anyway, that's that. And then the cupboards. These are retro 1950s, I think, hardwood cupboards that we salvaged from an old trailer, and they were in excellent condition. They are hardwood. They're not pressed board or anything like that. And if you saw in the before picture, these were a wood color. And I debated for a long time whether I wanted to paint these wooden cupboards or not. And in the long run, as you see, I decided to do it. And the main reason is because there was some flaking of the varnish especially on this door and this wall, and it just looked really terrible, and I knew I had to do something with it, and I really did not feel up to the challenge of stripping this, re-staining it, and re-varnishing it. And so I decided to just go ahead and extend the gray paint out here so all of my cupboards are the same color. I kept the old hardware. I just took it off, cleaned it up, and spray painted it with that hammered bronze from Rust-Oleum. Now, the piece de resistance is this beautiful, beautiful hutch. I wanted something nice out here. I had that old Little Tykes. It was actually a changing table that I used when my kids were babies, and I actually changed their diapers on it, and I had turned it into a homeschooling cabinet for a while, and once I no longer needed it for that, I turned it into a storage out here. And then I had an old, you know, microwave cart or something, I don't even remember what that was, stacked on top of it. I knew I wanted something nice. I was going to go look at all the thrift stores and see what I could find. But before I had a chance to do that, Scott, who loves to go on Craigslist, found this on Craigslist, and they were asking $50 for it. And so we thought, well, let's go look at it and see, maybe we can talk them down. Well, we got there, and it was in such beautiful condition that it was definitely worth $50, and we did not try to get them to go lower on the price. We just took it as is. Now, one of the problems we had when we brought it home, we knew that this hutch was too tall, or a baker's rack. I'm not sure what this is called. I think this might be called a baker's rack. It was too tall for this space by about 2.5 inches. So we looked it over and looked it over, and we thought, how can we make this fit without causing irreparable damage to it if in case someday we wanted to move it to a different spot, which is probably not very likely. So what we ended up doing, or what Scott ended up doing, was cutting 2.5 inches off this top piece, because these are two separate pieces that just sit on top of each other. They're not even fastened together at all. They just sit on top of each other. And then that way it fits in this spot perfectly. So let's go over kind of what I have on here. I just put my placemats up here. They were in my linen closet in the bathroom, but now I have a perfect spot to keep them. On here I have this wicker basket that I just I shopped my home, and I got this from downstairs. This is where we keep our trash bags. Travis is constantly having to change our trash. I don't know how we have so much trash, but we do. This basket I got at the thrift store at Salvation Army, and it's my bread basket, and in it I have a Pioneer Woman tea towel, and this just has our overflow bread. These are just some decorations that I already had that I just repurposed. This bottle I got at the thrift store, and I put some red flowers in it. Down here I have a wax melt burner. This is where Scott throws his receipts, like if he stops to get gas or whatever, he throws them in that basket. And then this is that tray. I will link the video that I did for this up in the corner. This was one of the Look for Less challenge. This milk glass I got from the thrift store, and those are real lemons. And then these are just things that would not fit in the drawers. In this drawer I have all of my aluminum foil and bags and parchment paper and things like that, but these boxes were too big to fit in here. And then I have this basket with umbrellas right at the door, so that if it's raining we can grab an umbrella and go out. In this drawer I just have odds and ends things, my apple peeler core that I got from Pampered Chef, my binoculars if I want to look out and see what's going on in the coop, I can see without having to go outside, or I do like to look at birds and things like that. And then just odds and ends things that I didn't know what else to do with, so I threw them in this basket. And then down here, these doors slide. I have all my home canned goods on this side. And then on this side, I have my can opener, oatmeal. This is the torch thing Travis uses to burn trash, and then just some extra things. These drawers are just decorative. They don't open. One of the things that I really liked about this baker's rack when I saw it is that it was already painted yellow. It was already painted yellow, and it is almost the exact same shade. Just a tinge lighter, but almost the exact same shade as my walls. And I think that it looks great. I had contemplated, before I saw this and we bought this, whatever piece that I got, I was thinking about painting it gray to match the cupboards. But when I saw this yellow and how it was a beautiful paint job, it had only been painted a few months ago, the people had just painted it. It was almost a perfect match to my walls, and it just brightens the space up. I decided gray would have been too much gray. And so I think that just ties in perfectly. This is my little refrigerator that I have overflow things in, mostly Trim Healthy Mama stuff. I swapped out an ugly container that I had for recycling and used one of my wicker baskets from downstairs. Just put a garbage bag in it, put the recycling in it. When this basket gets full to overflowing, all we have to do is pull the bag out and it's ready to go to the recycling, and we can just put a fresh bag in. In this wicker basket, I have dog food. As far as the other decor goes, I hung this rooster plate in here. This was in the kitchen above the sink. This swag I made in a DIY. I hung it above the door. This painting was in the dining room. This is a watercolor painting that Olivia did, and I just love it. I absolutely love it. Even though it's fall, it looks like fall themed, I have it up all year round because I just think it's beautiful, and I think it looks really good out here and ties in really well with the swag and the rooster plate. All the colors just kind of go together. And then up above the cabinets, just in this corner, I stuck some fake greenery up there. I was thinking about running the greenery all the way along, but two problems. First of all, I thought it was too much. Second problem, the leaves kept getting caught in the doors whenever we would close them. So we don't have so much of that problem in this corner, and we don't use that cabinet door all that much, so it's not that big of a deal. And it just adds a little splash of green in that corner there. Thanks so much for watching this video, friends. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked my redecorating as much as I do. I think it's so bright and summery and happy. I needed something bright and happy in my life. I've been going through kind of a slump, and I needed something to cheer me up, and the color yellow is just so cheerful and bright. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I do lots of DIYs, challenges, tags, day in the life, cooking videos, and on it goes. I just video the things in my life that are interesting, that interest me, and that are my interests. We'll talk to you later, friends.